All right, Dave, welcome to Overreaction Monday.
Yeah.
So don't overreact about the games from Sunday. There were a lot of them. There were a lot of good things. There were a lot of bad things. The Giants didn't look too good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to talk on that too much. Okay. Kind of hurts my heart a little bit.
Tell me, we'll kind of go down the list eventually, and we'll talk about every game. But give me one player, one team that really surprised you this week or impressed you.
I'm gonna say the Bears. That crazy comeback.
Which side is it?
The
Disappointed?
Defense. Is
You're impressed with the defense?
I'm impressed with the defense. I don't think the offense looked terrible though. I think Caleb Williams did good. There was a couple moments in that game where there
were a couple of moments I thought he played smart and played good.
Yeah, he played smarter than I thought he was. I think there was one time where there was like a bad call. It probably could have been going to the other side of the ball to the other team, and he kind of got a play out pretty quick to where they could have.
Yeah, he told team hurry up.
Yeah, so I think he's doing well on the mental side of it, and I think he was making his reads and making good throws. But I don't know. I guess something wasn't clicking that I didn't see. But on the defense
96 yards
side,
passing, no touchdowns. No, he didn't have any picks.
DeAndre Swift didn't play too well either.
DeAndre Swift was non-existent. But, I mean, you can say, would you say that you were disappointed in the Bears' offense? Or do you think there's just kind of growing pains there?
I wouldn't say I'm disappointed. I would say more of like something's just waiting to click. Like it's not like a letdown. It wasn't like a terrible performance, but it was just like something was waiting to happen, if that makes sense.
I feel like all the rookie quarterbacks kind of had a growing pains. So I don't think – I mean, Bo Nix, people say he had a rough game.
Yeah.
I thought he had, decent moments.
Jaden Daniels played really well, I thought.
I thought Jaden Daniels played well, but, I mean, the stat sheet for all these guys was not, crazy like it was for Stroud last year.
Yeah.
So I'll give you another guy that was a little disappointing. I think we need to talk about Bryce Young.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, we had a bad prediction on him. I think we were saying, I think you could still say give him some time, but he wasn't looking too good against the Saints defense. I mean, there was a couple of throws where it was.
Yeah, I know we said like there's still some hope. Like he was thrown into a bad situation. The situation got a little bit better, but then he came out and it looked the exact same.
Yeah.
He threw. I mean, was it 2 or 3 picks? It was bad. His first pass was picked off.
Yeah, they were bad throws, like blatantly bad throws. I saw a thing on ESPN or somebody posted it, and it was like C.J. Stroud and who's the other quarterback in that draft class?
Richardson?
Yeah, Richardson. They were the two at the combine, and Bryce Young was the one that sat out. And then now, like, those two are way better than him. Anthony Richardson, that's a guy who came back and did good. Dude, he chunked up.
Then he had a nice throw. I know that's
60-yard bomb.
But he was 9 for 19 for the rest of the game with an interception.
True.
And so, I mean, I thought he looked
He was making
good,
stuff happen, to say the least.
Yeah. He had, I think I said, we didn't end up posting the clips, but I had my prediction was 2 rushing touchdowns and a passing. And I think it was the other way around. He had 2 passing and 1 rushing. I thought they were going to beat the Texans there for a while.
Yeah, there was a decent bit to where I thought the same thing.
Another team I was really impressed with was the Cardinals. I was really impressed with Kyler Murray. He ran all over the place, all over the Bills.
Yeah, he looked like his old self.
But Marvin Harrison, 4 yards, 1 catch, 4 yards. That was pretty bad. Yeah. I just don't understand. Like, I think he had 3 targets all game. I think guys like Michael Wilson had more. Greg Dortch, like, why are you not looking his way?
Yeah, to me, I feel like there's not even an explanation for it. I'm just confused on it. Like, if you draft a guy.
I mean, I guess maybe they're doubling him. I didn't see that.
No way they come out doubling a rookie first game.
Well, maybe not double, but, like, they're placing extra emphasis on it.
Yeah, that could have been a possibility, but I don't know. I'm still throwing the ball up to him. I mean, they say stuff about Malik Neighbors where it's like even when he's not open, he's open, just because of how good they are. I'm pretty sure that same thing.
What did you think about Daniel Jones' performance?
Man, if I'm honest, it's going back to the offensive line. I mean, he had no time. I think he did as best as he could. Once again, he's just a average or a little bit below average quarterback in a terrible, position with the offensive line was terrible. once again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he put the ball in the right spot sometimes, and I think he didn't. I mean, that's what happens when you have an
Malik
average.
led rookie receivers with 66 yards. Led all rookie
targets
receivers.
too, right? 5 targets. 5 targets, 5 receptions. I think it's 5 for 5.
I don't remember. But he led all rookies with 66 yards. There wasn't a 100-yard receiver. With this class, we figured there would be.
Right.
I mean, Marvin had 4. Rome had 11, 1 catch for 11 yards. Ladd McConkey looked good, though. He looked good. I think he had maybe 4 catches, 59 yards, something like that, and a touchdown. Jalen McMillan had a touchdown as a rookie.
It's a slow start for this rookie
For the
draft
rookies,
class.
yeah.
It's a slow start.
It really was. I think Jared Verse played well last night.
Yeah.
He did good. He was good with the Rams. And we didn't post this, but you had the Patriots in your game picks.
I did.
To beat the Bengals. And you went as far as to say you thought Drake May was going to come in after Brissett gets hurt. And there was a point, I think it was the third quarter, where Brissett started limping off the field. And I really thought May was about to get some time.
No, Brissett looked good, though. He looked like he was making –
He looked decent, yeah.
He looked like he was on pace. It looked like everything was on rhythm, and they had a good game plan going into it. I think the Bengals just absolutely came out.
I really think that Jamar Chase is like – I know he played, but I feel like he impacted the team still.
Yeah.
And T. Higgins was out. That doesn't help. They lost Joe Mixon. They're doing a 2-back thing, which I don't know. I think they just need to – I don't know if that's working or not. Burrow, I mean – did he look bad? Did he look bad?
I didn't think he looked bad. I think there were some points where he put the ball in somebody's hands and they didn't do the correct things. There was a touchdown called back. It was to that tight end. I can't remember his name.
Sample?
May have been. But why was it called back? It wasn't ruled a catch. I think that was a problem. Like, he didn't maintain control of it before he passed out of bounds. So, I mean, a better playmaker there. That would be a touchdown. That's a touchdown missed. And
yeah.
I mean, it was a close game.
Joe
I think
Mixon,
it was a one-score game.
Again, had a great game for the Texans. He had like 130-something yards, a touchdown. The Texans looked good. Stephon Diggs, 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Nico Collins looked great. He looked like he didn't lose any steps. All right, let's go to this game. Steelers-Falcons. Steelers won without scoring a touchdown. 18 points off of field goals. The Falcons they have Bijan, they have Pitts, they have London. They got Kirk, and they scored 10 points. What do you make of that? I mean, dude, 10 points?
I think that has to be the OC's problem. I mean, at some point you have to look at it like we have players out there. They've proven themselves even before this year. I mean, I think we all know all those guys are pretty good. Kirk did good on the Vikings. I mean, the only person that maybe hasn't proven himself is Kyle Pitts on that team.
He's the only one that scored.
Exactly. So I'm thinking it's the OC's problem because I just don't think you can have that much talent and only tally up to 10 points.
I mean,
maybe they're trying to get – maybe Kirk's not familiar with the new –
I feel like that is the most Mike
something.
Tomlin thing ever, to win without scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, Chris Boswell needs a pay raise.
Chris Boswell had – I mean, how many field goals is
6 for 6, right?
How many fantasy points did he have, I wonder?
He probably
should have said start him. So on your starts and sits, you have Brock Purdy tonight. You said sit him. So we'll see how that one turns out. You had Jaden Reed as a sit.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a miss.
That was a miss.
But then you had Chris Godwin and Ramondre, both of which scored and put up good numbers. Ramondre had over 100 yards rushing, so those two. So if you listen to David on your starts, you probably did good. If you listened on the sits, I guess we'll see tonight.
Hey, well, now you know to sit Jaden Reed for the next couple of weeks because talk about Jordan Love. That knee looked nasty. When I saw that preview.
What do you think? How long did you think he was going to be out? Season?
Well, no, I didn't think it was going to be the season because I thought it was MCL tear at the very beginning because as soon as his knee went in, you could see it pop on the outer side. That's right where the MCL is. So I was like, oh, gosh, that doesn't look good. So at first, I kind of was actually maybe that is a season-ending. It looked like it was a season-ending injury. But then they said it was a sprain. I'm pretty sure if it's anywhere from a 2 to a 1, like a 1 strain or a 2 strain, then he'll be back in 4 weeks.
I think he's supposed to be back 3 to 6, so anytime within there.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, What does that look? What does that look like for the Packers in their playoff outlook?
I mean, it kind of all relies on Malik Willis. I think they just named him the starting quarterback. I just got a notification on the way here. So
Malik Willis.
We'll see how he plays out. I mean, we got to watch 2 plays of him. One of them he got sacked, and the other one he threw it out of bounds. So,
dude, I wanted them to pull up Michael Pratt from the practice squad from Tulane and see, but throwing another rookie into, we already have enough rookies, and they all didn't. That's a hard ask for a rookie.
Somebody was telling me that they were trying to look into sign Ryan Tannehill.
Who told you that?
Connor Epperson.
Ryan Tannehill.
One of our good buddies. But yeah, Ryan Tannehill. I don't know how that would look, but I think they should stick with Malik Willis and see how he plays out. I don't think he should be. I mean, they have about 3 pretty average wide receivers or a little bit above average wide receivers.
I mean,
they should be able to get people open. Plus, they
have some depth. They got Jacobs.
Dude,
he's gonna run. He's gonna get fed.
Yeah, he will. He needs to.
He will.
They're gonna have to switch it up a little bit.
Workload.
That'll probably be a future start right there, or a future betting odd.
Oh, speaking of which, he's coming soon. We have our betting segment, if you will. So we're gonna do that.
I was thinking we should call the betting segment "Nothing But Green," because when you go on that betting app, you go on that Underdog app, whatever it is, whatever you use. If you follow our guides, all you're going to see is straight green.
So when this is Monday, this is Overreaction Monday.
Yep.
You're going to probably be seeing this on a Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have the betting segment come out. And you'll see that on Thursday. But tonight we have Jets, Niners. David, I know we picked the same team in the lost footage, but we both picked the Niners. What do the Jets need to do to win tonight?
I mean, I think the only thing that you can do against the 49ers is shut down their offense from scoring. I think that's where they pretty much beat everybody out, is scoring more points than them. They have so many dudes. I don't even know if Christian McCaffrey's going to play, and he's on my fantasy team.
I mean, they're on the road. I think you need to put pressure on Purdy, make him uncomfortable, and then I think, it's because Purdy's job is to get the ball carriers or his playmakers the ball.
Right.
If he's under pressure and he's having a hard time doing that, we saw against the Ravens last year on, I think it was Christmas Eve or Christmas. He was under pressure a lot. He couldn't get the ball out, couldn't get it to his guys, and it made it really hard for him. If they put constant pressure on him, I know Hassan Reddick's having a fit over there. I don't know what's going on there. But they need to get pressure on him.
Right.
And I think that's how they win the game. On the other side, conversely, it's the same thing. Purdy just needs to get his ball in the hands of Debo, get it in the hands of McCaffrey. Just run with McCaffrey. McCaffrey should get the ball once every 3 plays.
Yeah.
And then you can spread it out from there. Get Kittle involved, spread the ball out. And you need to get it to him early. So get Debo going early so he's not, you don't want to disinvolve anyone on your team because you have that many playmakers. You want to give them all the ball early. You want to spread it out. But make sure McCaffrey gets the ball.
Yeah, I think 2 guys that you want to focus on and make sure they're getting the ball is Debo and McCaffrey for sure.
I think Debo is might be one of the easiest players to get the ball in the entire league.
Yeah.
You can do it in so many ways.
You could look at Ayuk as one of those guys, when you're 2nd and 1 and you want to take a long shot, like you got a chance to take a big shot and then call a play for him. But I don't think he's somebody that you have to be like involving early. Like the same as Debo and Christian. I think McCaffrey's pretty much a lock that he'll be getting involved early. But, yeah, if I had to choose, I'd rather pick Debo to be getting the ball early and get him starting to get his engine rolling. I agree with that.
Yeah, Debo's easy. Throw him on a sweep, throw him on a run. You can line him up in the backfield. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do with him. Speaking of that, Xavier Worthy, we didn't even talk about him from Thursday. That's what we expected, right?
Yeah.
We expected the Chiefs to find out ways to get him the ball, and that's exactly how they did. I mean, they had him on a sweep for a touchdown. They're going to use him in screens, and then, obviously he's going to bust one deep, beat a corner.
Right, and that's what we were saying. We were saying last year when we were looking into the draft, we were like, that's kind of why we were leaning towards the Chiefs, is because I feel like that's what they're really good at, is getting like certain players into certain positions with like their motions or whatever they do. Yeah, exactly. It's just creative offensive mind. So, I mean, and you get somebody like Xavier Worthy like that with, insane speed. You're going to have him on sweeps. You're going to have him going deep on routes. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's basically what everybody expected. So.
And I've been hearing a lot about people criticizing the Bills for letting the Chiefs move up and get Worthy, but I think the Bills wanted Coleman the whole time.
Yeah.
And so, but would Worthy have been there at 32? I don't know. But, I mean, if you're going to complain that the Bills did it, you got to complain about the other 31 teams that, or however many, I think he was picked 28.
Yeah.
The other 27 teams that let the Chiefs land him.
I think they both probably won that. I mean, I think both of those players probably fit, their offensive schemes better. The Chiefs with Worthy and Keon with the Bills.
Keon did fine. He had, 51 yards, 3 catches or 4 catches?
Yeah, he had a pretty good catch. I mean, I think they were saying that Josh Allen is kind of getting trustworthy with him to where he can kind of just throw it up and let him go get it.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of saw that with one of those throws. I think it was on the sideline going towards the end zone. He looked pretty nice. But I would have liked to see him get targeted a little bit more. To me, it's still not clear who's wide receiver 1 out there.
Matt Collins?
Yeah, I mean, when he scored
I was surprised he had a touchdown. I didn't think. I mean, you got Curtis Samuel now too. I don't think he was very involved yesterday.
No,
but,
he wasn't. He didn't do very much.
You got Keon. You got Shakir.
Shakir had a bad.
I think it's very similar to the Packers room.
Yeah.
Where they have a bunch of guys that can play, but there's not really a standout guy yet. At least for now.
Right.
Keon could be that guy.
I'm hoping for my fantasy
Shakir
team.
Played well with what he was given. I know he wasn't given a lot of targets, but I mean the first quarter, I think Josh Allen threw the ball twice.
That's what I was surprised with. They ran the ball so many times, like it blew my mind. And James Cook, I mean, might as well run the ball the way he was playing. I mean, he was getting 5 yards a pop.
Yeah.
So might as well. And then he would go bust one for a little bit. I mean, if my running back's doing that, I'll run the ball all day long. Same thing with the Lions and Rams in overtime. Montgomery.
He averaged 8.8 yards on that drive.
That was nice. I love that.
Don't stop if it's not broken.
Absolutely. That is literally, to me, Dan Campbell football. Like, he was like, I'm not stopping, calling this play until we lose yards.
When the Rams lost Puka.
Yeah, that was a big loss, too.
Cooper Kupp. No, I said this yesterday. I still think Cooper Kupp is a top 5 receiver in the league. Because as soon as Puka left the game and he was getting the mass amount of targets, he had, a touchdown and 100 yards in 2 drives.
Yeah, it looked just like old Cooper Kupp.
As long as he stays healthy.
Yeah. That's a terrible situation.
Puka was the worst thing for his career.
Yeah. I mean, now
it's a good thing for the Rams. But yeah, okay, if you have Cooper Kupp in fantasy, now's the time you need to hold on to him.
Yeah, cuz Puka I think he's placed on IR. He's got a knee injury. Knee injuries
at least
are already bad to start with. So
he came
either
back
look
for a
to
while.
trade for some pretty high value or hold on to him. So
because Cooper Kupp was going to be playing well.
He's going to be getting a lot of targets. I mean, I swear I watched one drive and he got 7 targets in one drive.
I think he ended up with 15 total.
It's crazy.
And I think the majority of them came after Puka was hurt. So, I mean, they just force feed him, and then no one can stop it.
Yeah. I think the Lions struggled a little bit on passing, though. I don't think Jared Goff did great, but I just think the Rams defense.
Jameson Williams did well. I think he did. I think he was the best receiver out there last night.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what was surprising when you have Laporta and Amon-Ra, thinking those two guys blow him out of the water, and he comes out of nowhere.
I mean, they barely won that game. I feel like they were up 17-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they, and it's all of a sudden it's 20-17.
But okay, so do you think that shows you that the Lions are worse than we thought, or you think it's the opposite way around? The Rams are better than we thought.
I mean, coming into this game, I thought it would be close.
I think the Rams are better than we expected.
I think the Rams are better, but I think the Lions are about what we expected.
Yeah, but I think the Rams looked really nice. They looked really good.
If you told me that was the divisional this year, I wouldn't be surprised. If you told me that was the NFC Championship, I mean, I don't think that's a stretch.
Not at all. And that's why it kind of makes me feel a little bit better because I picked them to win the division, the Rams.
You picked the Rams.
They're looking good.
Well, we'll see how the Niners do tonight, but they got the Jets, who we haven't even seen yet. We haven't even seen them with Aaron Rodgers. They could go out there and they could be terrible. We have no idea. So, actually, how do you think that they're going to be? I know you picked them, to get third in the division?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just scary to pick somebody like that to do good. I mean, you can say team. Yeah, you can just say it's Aaron Rodgers and he has, all these, good past games and past years, and obviously, he's a top 5 quarterback. But I mean, it's just the unknown. I mean, we just don't know how Aaron Rodgers could go out there and snap his Achilles again. You just don't know, and then it could be a repeat of last year. Garrett Wilson go out there and drop, every pass thrown to him. So you just don't know. So, but I'm really excited to see how they do. I think if Aaron Rodgers and them click, I think that'll be a dangerous team.
I mean, I think, I don't know, dude. I mean, everyone's hyping him up to be like a Super Bowl contender, and I just can't see that yet.
I think if everything clicked well, they could. I mean,
Really?
I think they have the weapons too. I mean, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. I'm looking forward to see how Malachi Corley, if he plays any role in that offense.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like he
interesting to
could
see.
play a big role.
I think he's the same way. Just get him the ball and like sweeps.
Yeah,
and
let him do his
screens,
thing. Absolutely.
Let him run. They needed. Yeah, they have good weapons there. I mean,
And their defense is good.
defense is good.
I mean, there's not much you need in an offense. Tyron Smith, if he stays healthy, that'll be a pretty good.
Morgan Moses they
addition.
got in the offseason. Their offensive line is a lot better, so Aaron Rodgers shouldn't get hurt. And then
But true, you never know. They could come out and be a dang good team.
But they're also playing the Niners.
Very true. It'll be a good first game. I think it's always good to come out week one and have somebody play that's a tough opponent.
And then, all right, so last game, let's talk about Cowboys-Browns.
That was a good game.
Vintage Zeke.
I like that game.
A minute and a half.
Yeah. I bet fantasy owners are very happy.
Dude, the Browns look like Deshaun Watson looked terrible.
Yeah, that was bad. That was actually
looked bad.
horrible.
Jerry Jeudy scored a touchdown.
Yep.
Um,
Cowboys look good though.
Cowboys
when you put up, how many? It was 30 points.
Well, I'll say that Cowboys looked good, but I was not that impressed with Dak. Like if I told you,
it's more of a CD. Just throw it up to CD. I mean, that's all you have to do.
If I told you before the game, I said, this one of the quarterbacks this week got paid what, $260 million?
Yeah.
$60 million a year.
Right.
Would you have picked Dak as that guy?
No.
Watching the games.
No.
I don't think you could have watched Dak and said, that's for sure the guy that got paid $260 million.
Right.
Which, I don't know if they're even going to be able to sign Micah. They probably could, but then they lose every other player on their team. There's no way they'll be able to sign all three of them.
If there was one guy that I thought they were for sure going to sign, and it wouldn't be a question, it was Micah Parsons.
That's what I thought too. Back in, April, when we were debating this, I said, Micah's probably the priority for them.
Yeah.
First guy to sign.
Yeah.
And then I thought CD and then Dak.
Right.
But I also can't imagine they let Micah walk, so I don't know what they're going to do.
They'll come up with something.
They'll find
know.
some money.
Yeah, somewhere. And Jerry Jones is gonna
pull it from his personal.
do something. I don't know. But yeah, I thought they looked good though. Anytime you put up 30 points or how many it was on, that good of a defense, it's gonna be good.
They did look good. They looked good. I thought the Jaguars also looked surprisingly good.
Brian Thomas Jr.
looked great.
Nice.
Trevor
really
Lawrence
nice.
looked better than I think he has in the past.
He did. He looked well.
But I also think, on the other side, the Dolphins didn't look like the same Dolphins. I think it took a while, but they finally got Tyreek going at the end.
Yeah.
Maybe he was a little shaken up from the traffic violation that morning.
Who did they play? For some reason, I'm thinking they played the Chargers.
The Dolphins?
Yeah, who
The
did they
Jaguars.
play? The Jaguars? I think I saw a statistic, and it was like the Jaguars haven't let up any points in the first quarter for the past 5 games, which is kind of a pick-me stat, but still.
Really?
They didn't let up a point in the first quarter. Jalen Waddle and
Jalen Waddle, he did his thing. Tyreek did his thing. The running backs really disappointed me.
Tyreek got arrested before he went into that game.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's why it took him a while to get going.
I think that officer is on administrative leave
Yeah, he is.
right now.
They're
a little
I saw
mad
a
at
video
him.
of him on the face down on the concrete.
Yeah, no, you can't be doing that. That's funny though.
Raiders Chargers. What do you think of that one?
Boring game, but
It was a really boring game.
I'm glad to see Harbaugh come out with the Week 1 W. That's always good, but it's against the Raiders. I thought the Raiders were holding their own for a minute. I'm gonna be honest.
I thought Ladd McConkey. I know we talked about him a little bit. I think he looked good. I actually was not that impressed with Herbert though. I expected a little bit more from him.
nothing stuck out, but to me,
I think it's just that Harbaugh. He loves to pound the ball, run it down the
Yeah, their
throat.
running backs did good. I think J.K. did pretty good.
J.K. had over 100 and a touchdown.
But yeah, I mean, you kind of have to when you don't have any weapons. I mean, all I have is McConkey, and he's a
Josh Palmer got in a
rookie.
fight. He got kicked out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things wrong with the passing aspect of the Chargers, but the running aspect looked nice. And of course, if you get McConkey more involved, and his confidence keeps going up, and you give him more reps and more comfortability on the field,
I think he'll be a definite start every week kind of guy for fantasy. Because I think he's going to get a lot of targets coming up. I know I said last game 3 games ago, but actually last game, Broncos Seahawks.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't even answer any of your questions. Bro. I couldn't. I turned off that game.
That game was sloppy. The Broncos had 2 safeties on for them.
One was a holding call in the
end zone.
In the end zone.
Seahawks looked sloppy, and they still came out with the win. Bo Nix, I mean, it looked like it was like a welcome to the NFL type game.
Yeah.
But
which is weird because he did good in the preseason. But I mean, that's why they call it the
rookie though.
That's why they call it the preseason.
So I think he'll pick it up though. I think it's kind of just a learning curve like we talked about.
Yeah, and I think the Seahawks. I mean, that's a pretty tough defense to be going up against. I mean,
it's a good secondary.
I think their secondary is pretty good.
It's a hard first game, and then last point I want to ask you. We watched the Saints Panthers. Panthers look terrible. We talked about Bryce Young.
Absolutely.
Do they win a game this season? The only 2 that I can see them for now, I know it's Overreaction Monday, but the 2 worst teams I can see on their schedule are Broncos and your Giants.
I agree. Here's my thing, and I think people are forgetting. I think Jonathan Brooks can come in there and change the offensive role around because, I mean, if he's explosive as a player that everybody thinks he is.
He's got to hit the ground running.
Yeah, very true. He has to come out and be doing great things. But if they do, I mean, that changes the way the defense looks at the ball, and that opens up other things.
It might open up the offense a little
bit. For offense.
I just feel like the way that they are with the amount of young people, they just don't have time to, nurture another talent.
I'll tell you this. If Bryce Young plays like he does every week against how he did against the Saints, no, they won't win a game. I mean, I saw him throw a pick to a guy, and there wasn't even a guy within 10 yards.
The first pass?
That's not even a miscommunication. To me, that's not even a miscommunication. Nobody's communicating over there. So there's not a miscommunication. I'm just confused. I mean, you saw it with Lamar. He had Zay Flowers wide open, but if you saw it, and he said it in the press conference afterwards, I can't remember who he had coming across, but that was just a miscommunication. He thought he was going to stop instead of keep going. There was nobody even close to where, that Saints.
Bryce Young?
Yeah. There's nobody close.
Dude, it's bad. It's bad, but I still want to have some faith in him.
I gotta have faith in him. I got to. I can't say that and just have one
we'll
game.
Come back week 3.
It's Overreaction Monday. We're overreacting.
Maybe that's true. We'll come back week 3 and we'll probably be like, okay, it's time this trend.
No, week 3. If it's the same, I promise you.
I'll stand on this table.
Yeah, I'll say he sucks.
But not Daniel Jones. Not yet. You're not ready to call it quits?
Man, okay, he's a below-average quarterback. But I think if you give him a good offensive line, they get it together.
Is he 32 of 32?
No, absolutely not.
So who's 32?
As of right now,
I mean,
it's looking like Bryce Young. I mean, week 1, it's Bryce Young.
I mean, it's unfair to put a rookie down there, but that's probably the correct answer, I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett, most people I think would say him, but I don't think he was.
No, he didn't. He did way better than Bryce
Minshew, he's not a starter, but
I'd probably put Minshew at 30 or 31. I mean, there was one point. I mean, he tried to hit Devontae on a little curl route, and it just flew out of his hand. That cannot be happening.
I saw that. That was pretty bad. But
Daniel Jones is 28, 27.
28, 27.
From the week 1 performance. But I'm telling you.
No. One dude that looked good. I'd put him top. Actually, I don't want to get there because this is Overreaction Monday.
Don't say
But
that.
Sam Darnold looked good.
He did look good. I was going to say that was one of the guys that impressed me with Sam Darnold. He didn't look like he missed a beat. I mean, it looked like every read that he had, he would just.
It does help when you go from, and where was the Jets, the Carolina, where they have nobody. I mean, he had Robbie Anderson for most of his career.
And
now he has Jefferson, Addison.
And the guy who was covering Jefferson was Deontay Banks, the rookie last year. He didn't even do bad. I mean, he was covering him as. I mean, I saw
No, I
one
didn't think
pass.
he do bad. I mean, even the touchdown Jefferson had, I think
He was right on the ball. I mean, he even had his hand in the ball, ripped it out, and then Jefferson just got one hand and
It's
grabbed
just
it.
Jefferson.
Yeah, it's just Justin Jefferson. So, I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, yeah, you have Jefferson, so that kind of helps you a little bit. But other than that, he wasn't. It didn't look like he was really missing a beat. Their offensive line, though, man, we could
The
not get
Vikings?
pressure. Dexter Lawrence, obviously, I mean, that's pretty hard to stop. But their tackles, like, our edge rushers were not doing good. I mean, that was Brian Burns, the addition, it didn't really make much of any noise.
No, I expected more out of that defensive line, honestly.
Me too. Absolutely.
Especially with, Sam Darnold back there, who's not, he's not a star.
No, but yeah, who's their left tackle? Is it Dawkins? Is their left tackle?
I don't know.
He did good. I saw some film on him, and I mean, he was caking people left and right, so he did good. Their offensive line looked nice.
Well, we'll be back next week for, the game reviews. But so coming up Wednesday, we got the betting like we talked about.
Yep.
Best bets, or as you wanted to call it.
Nothing but green.
Nothing but green. But tonight we got Jets, Niners, so we'll see how that one goes. That's an hour and a half from now, so it's coming up.
Yep.
But Dave, I think we're good on this one. I think that we covered about everything we needed to.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Yeah, I did want to add in to all the people that are viewing this. I want y'all to go to either, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, anything like that, and just give us a follow and turn on notifications,
Yeah, leave us a review while you're there too.
Yeah, you may not be looking to watch every video, but say, it's Thursday or whatever, and you're looking to bet this week and you want to have some insight on it, and you get a notification, then you can just click on it and it's right there. I mean, you don't have to click on every notification, but just go follow us, get a notification, and then go check out the YouTube and Instagram too. There's a bunch of, sometimes we post, and we'll have where y'all can interact with it. Y'all can vote on who has a better team, if really that's a rookie draft or whatever that may be. But go check those out. But other than that, that's good for me.
So, all right, well, we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next time.